Sorry guys if the lighting's not too good, but today I thought I would do just a little bit of a sketchbook tours. I'm terrible for not finishing sketchbooks or any art books, so I thought I would do like a little video going through things I've done and some completed paintings I've done. So let's just get basically straight into it. I've got my candle on and I've got my cup of tea because we're going to be here for a while. But I am terrible for not finishing them basically, so I thought I would just show you through these. So first thing I completed, as I wrote on it, basically was just the Winsor & Newton sketchbook. So the first thing I painted in it, I think this was the first ever video I made. I think it was 3 years ago, and it was like a little nightscape area. It was supposed to be like almost like Northern Light style painting. It was quite at the few years back when I did do this as my first ever YouTube video. I think it was like quite popular, like a lot of people were doing them, especially with like the acrylics, where they did like the dots and then they would do this like scraping thing and it would make like end up being like the Northern Light. So it was like the first ever attempt I did at painting, and I remember using the Hemi gouache for these. A lot of these are done with the Hemi gouache, because at the times when I first started my YouTube channel, the Hemi gouache palette, the turquoise pan, the 24 one of the jelly pots, was like the only kind of painting equipment I actually had. I had some like cheap student grade like watercolours, and I had like a few acrylics, but they were from like places like the Works, and the range, like they weren't very good quality. Obviously it is no face. Obviously looking back at it now, I used the gouache again, but I don't know whether it'll let you see, but it's very like crackly, and it's very thick on certain areas, and you can see where the paper's tore because I've put that much product on. And obviously no face literally is like transparent from this bit down because it kind of blends into the water, so I didn't really do it the best, but that was my little second attempt, I think, at doing something like that. Obviously could definitely probably do a bit better now, but it wasn't, once again, another first attempt. The clouds are way too thick. There was not that much clouds in the actual studio's Ghibli scene. Next I attempted like another two little like little scenic views. Obviously I don't know what I've done here. It's very patchy. I didn't do this is when I was kind of trying to like learn how to do trees, and obviously as you can see from like this, it wasn't the best. Like I pretty much just used like this kind of brush, like a fan brush, and literally just like made like little jaggedy lines. It's okay for like a cheapy little quick effect, but I have not mastered that to this day. I probably could do a bit better now if I tried again, but I tried to add like lightning bolts onto this one and try and make it a bit. It was my era of always having washi tape on every piece of paper, so it was like just cut lines, but obviously as you can see the washi tape I used to use wasn't that great, so it used to bleed quite a bit. But yes, these were some more attempts. Obviously not brilliant. Like little if I can get it to focus, like little, like they're supposed to be like obviously little comets. Obviously I don't think you'd ever get that many unless it was a meteor shower. And I don't even think then there'd be that much. Obviously the sky as well wouldn't be that vivid. Obviously try to do like a little moon, like dusk kind of like scape on that one. Once again, use way too much white. You can see it like the streaks, and you wouldn't think that they're trees. You'd think it's like a one big black abyss of a cloud. I remember when I first did this one, I was really impressed with how I did the sun. I don't know if you can see where like it fades out, and that still kind of cute. Obviously it was supposed to be like a little desert scene. Once again, didn't really put too much definition to these bits, so it wasn't brilliant. And this is when I was trying to learn how to do water drops, little water droplets, doing like the shadow and then the more reflective part of the raindrop. And it's from Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. It is one of the gnomes. I remember I loved this painting when I first completed it. Once again with the Hemi gouache. All these were done, I believe, with the Hemi gouache, because like I say, it was the only paints that I had at the time, other than a few like cheaper watercolour ones, but I wasn't very good at watercolour at the time. I'm still not brilliant at watercolour, but I'm much better. And I just remember loving this. I just like was in love. Like I thought I did so good on it. and I still to this day love it. But yeah, so it's the gnome from well, the gnome shell that she finds in like the beginning of Nausicaa Valley, the Valley of the Wind, which is a Studio Ghibli animation. Jeez, I can't speak. I did like a little girl. I think that was my first ever attempt with watercolors. And inks. I used the Winsor & Newton ink, and I think these were the first ever Cotman colours I got, watercolour, and then the silver ink as well. For them ones. She kind of cute. She kind of cute. And then this was back with the Himi Gouache and Attempting Clouds. Wasn't that, once again, not that brilliant, a bit too cakey, where I put too much product on and the paper started to turn. You can kind of see it, but you know, you all start somewhere. It's still trying to grapple the concept of like the shadow on clouds, like the darker areas, to make it look like fluffy almost. But yeah, I have not completed that bit yet. Oh, this is another Studio Ghibli scene. This was my era of constantly doing Studio Ghibli scenes. So this one's off Princess Mononoke. Once again, I was really impressed with these ones. They're like the little forest tree spirits. If you've never seen Princess Mononoke, it's definitely one of my favourite Studio Ghiblis. It's like brilliant. And there's a whole scene where the forest is dying and they've got to help. I only ever finished this one. This was supposed to be, these are both from Princess Mononoke as well. It's supposed to be his red elk or deer that he rides. What's he called? Kashi? I might have that wrong, but anyway, he rides this, and I haven't finished it, but I did finish the little tree spirits that when they're all on a line, and they're walking through the forest when he saved the other soldiers. He's got one on his elk, and then he's got one on, he's like physically carrying one, and he's like sweating, and he's asking them for guidance, and they're like running through the forest. It's so cute. These are off another Studio Ghibli, Spirited Away. These are the well, I do believe they have a different name, I think, in Studio Ghibli, in Spirited Away, but they're called, I know, in My Neighbour Totoro, they're called soot sprites. And it's usually when places are like abandoned for a long period of time, that's when like these little like creatures are supposed to like take form in houses. And then when you clean it out, they kind of leave. That's what happens in My Neighbour Totoro. But these soot sprites, I don't know whether they've got a different name, I will check. In Spirited Away, they help a character, I can't remember his name, the Boiler Man, I think he gets called. He's obviously got a name. And he's the one that keeps the bathhouse working basically and up and running like with the heat. And it's because these little dudes like pick up the coal and throw it in the little fire, and then there's a scene where they get fed little little stars. And it's really cute. Like, they're such cute little designs. I was like, they're so brilliant. I really enjoyed painting them. And there's one scene where she helps one soot sprite because by accident gets crushed by a rock, and then they all crush themselves with rocks, little coal, sorry, so she'll help them. I think she's called, in My Neighbour Totoro, the little girls are called Mei and Satsuki, I think, but in Spirited Away, her name gets turned into Sen, I think, because the bathhouse like woman who runs it, she like changes their name, like takes their names from them to keep them like bound type thing. But her real name I think is Chihiro. I might be saying these wrong, but the main little girl in this story, it was really cute. And anyway, she ends up helping one, and then they all end up crushing themselves with little coal pieces, want to be helped. The next little sketchbook was this one. It's a Sea White one. I did like a lot of watercolours in these ones, so obviously I did this. It's like a little, I actually took a photo of this. I added the crow, obviously. The crow was not in the image, but I actually no, it was. This was it at, sorry, a graveyard near me in, near Pitty no, not near Pitty sorry, near Pittington, sorry, and I think it's called Holgarth graveyard, I think, or church. Anyway, it's near that kind of area, and I took a photo. Obviously, it was much further away. I zoomed in on the image and painted it. And it was a little graveyard section where there was a few thingies, but there was actually a crow on each, because there was another gravestone on this side as well, like in the image, and there was a crow on each, and I thought it was so cute, and I managed to capture it on an image. But for some reason I only painted one crow. I think it's because I was really struggling with the crow, so I didn't end up painting the others. I'm terrible for that. If I really struggle with something, like, I won't add it all in, which isn't very a good artist moment of me. Obviously heavily overworked. You can see when like you like tilt it, like those high, like really shiny bits where like I put far too much paint on, especially considering I used watercolour and it comes across more like gouache. Watercolour's supposed to be nice and light and airy, but I went like a little bit heavy-handed with this. All weird and strange, but this was actually a dream I had, and in the dream it was like really weird. It was literally this scene, like it was just like this random tree, and it was like winter and it was snowing, and the full moon was like massive, but like the tree was obviously like dead, had no, well, it wasn't dead, but it had no leaves on, like typical for a tree in winter. But there was this, like, it looked like a moth from a distance, and there was just loads of like crosses like across this whole field, and I had no idea, like, obviously where was that. And as I got close up the tree, it was like this before, like, I noticed it was less and less like a moth. It had like wings, like bird type wings, but then all this bit looked like almost like a massive slug, but fuzzy. It was so weird. And then there was like an eyeball in the middle. It was just such an obscure dream, but anyway, I painted it because I was like, that's such a cool idea for a creature. But then as I painted it, I realised it kind of looks a bit like I'm mimicking like what people call like Bible accurate, biblically, I can't even say that word, Bible accurate angels, because obviously there's them angels where it's like loads of discs and cylinders, isn't it, with eyes all over it. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe the dream had a meaning considering those crosses in it as well. But but yeah, so I painted that one off a dream. That was with watercolours as well. It was just with the Cotman. This is when I started getting Winsor & Newton Cotman watercolours, which are technically still a student grade kind of watercolour, but they're quite good to work with. This one was never finished. It was going to be like a sunset scene but with clouds, and once again heavily overworked. Like you can see where the paper start to buckle and really come off, and the colours kind of just start blending together. Just very overworked. There's another little Spirited Away scene. This is with watercolours though. Once again, overworked on the cloud areas. Like, it's watercolour, it should not be that thick. Where you can see streak marks. But that's little Haku. And he's named after the Haku River. When Chihiro tells him his name, that's when like the spell's off him and that, and he's not like trapped to the bathhouse anymore. So it's really cute story. And it's a little scene where he's I've like drew that as if he's like flying up into the sky. Obviously there is a little flying scene, but he's like this way, he's not like going up. And he's got like Chihiro on the back, and that's when she realizes she remembers that she got saved by something at the Haku River, and it was him, the spirit, because he's the spirit for the Haku River. This was a little beach scene. Once again, you can see like quite overworked, like there was bits where the paper's coming off, but it is a little sidescape. This was at Crimson Beach that I painted this, and once again I made this way moodier than the beach scene actually was. We went on a really sunny day, but I made it like more moody, and like I tend to like more like muted dark colours, so I tend to like scenescapes that are a bit more like either spooky or like more dark and grungy. So I'm terrible for whenever I paint like scenes and that, I make them way like muggy and darker than like the scene I'm actually looking at is, because like I was plein air painting when I did this one, so I was outdoors at Crimson Beach. I don't think I did anything else in this one. Sorry, I'm just checking. No, all the rest of them are blank pages. So there's another sketchbook that I haven't finished. I've got about 10 more pages in this. Another sketchbook, another Sea White. I don't know whether I've left the sticker on. I have not, but it's another one, Sea White of Brighton. Once again, like I say, really brilliant books. This is once I start getting into the phase of putting stickers on my books. Like, I'm terrible. I put stickers on absolutely everything. Like, you will see, I've got stickers on this one. But yeah, I decided to do this one next. So I'm going to move my cup out the way. These are where I ended up getting Winsor & Newton acrylics. This is when I started going into the acrylics kind of form of things. You will see at the start of them, I don't know whether I can show them, there's loads, it's very grainy and loads of lines. This is where I was putting, like, you can literally see where washi tape's been and like the thickness of the acrylic off the paper. This is when I was really bad at like making the like the paintings really thick, like the acrylic. I think the amount of acrylic I put on, like you can literally feel like that off the paper. It's like literally like really thick. But it was like a little moonscape. I really liked at the time when I did it how the clouds turned out, even though now that I'm looking back, obviously I've very, very heavily overworked them. Definitely needed some bits to be a bit lighter, and this needed to be a bit bright because obviously the moon's there, so it'd be casting light on there. But yeah, I really love this. I remember when I did it. If you hear any noises, it is my Nan's dog. Tempted for some kois. Once again, too thick, the amount of acrylic I'm putting on. And I used some ink on top of it to give them like a sheen. That was just a random little doodle I did, a little witch hat with some little pumpkins and some little wheat. It's supposed to be wheat, but I don't think I did that very good. And then some little, I have no idea what these mean now, but I used to know what the runes meant, but yeah. And like the different rune symbols. Just a little witch hat. Did that in 2022 as well. This was like a little planchette I did. This is also acrylic. I don't know whether I can get it to focus. Sorry if the lighting's really bad. It's really hard, like, because with my light on there's too much shadow, but then it's very dull day to day, so like trying to use that to show. Little eye in the middle, some moons, yes, new, little planchette. Once again, acrylic. Did better this time. It's not as thick, the amount of acrylic that I use at the background, but very heavily worked, like you can see the streaks. But that also comes into consideration with the acrylics I was using. The Winsor & Newton acrylics are very good, just like is like a temporary like little project, but if you were doing a professional painting, they are a little bit hard to work with. I remember really struggling with them. These are two. I did this character first. I always get confused with Studio Ghibli. This is again, I'm terrible. I always go sit up on Poppy Hill, but I don't think it is. I think it's when Marnie was here or was there or something like that. I painted her. And I don't know too much about that story. That's terrible of us. I watched it once and then I painted the character because I thought she was really cute, and then I was like, oh shit, I don't actually know anything about it. This is off an animation video like years and years ago. I remember seeing it. It was called Me, 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 I think. But yeah. These were with the Himi gouache. I didn't do these with acrylic or anything, but this was when I was getting back into my animated scenes again. Obviously I remember loving this one because these are like turquoises and teals, and that are like my favourite colours. Back at the clouds, trying to make clouds. Once again, heavily overworked, very buckled. This was with the Himi gouache again. This wasn't with acrylic, but once again, way too much. Like we're putting on way too thick of layer of gouache. This one I love just because it was a bit more grungy and dark. This just randomly come to us as well. Once again, had another dream, and it was really weird. And the clouds were like orange, red and black, like they were just like really obscure, and the sky was like bright red, and like the sun was weird, like it like had these like spikes coming out. It was just so odd, this dream, and there was loads of like weird black dots in the sky. It was just obscure dreams. I don't know what they meant. Just also another dream, and this one isn't as heavily worked as this one, but there's still some buckling on the clouds where I put a bit too much of the gouache. But yeah, I remember really liking this painting, and then my dad asked me if I did it off something, and I can't remember what he said. I can't remember if he said a film or he said something, because he was like, is that supposed to be? And he said something. I was like, no, it was just a dream I had. He was like, oh, because the sun looks very like, so I don't know whether maybe I've seen a film and then that's made me had a dream similar, and that's what, I don't know. But it was from a dream. Again, perfect definition of using too much paint. These were going to be another two planchettes, which I never finished. Once again, you can see I've way overworked it. The paper's actually ripped. But it was supposed to be like a little nightscape with some like trees. This was with cotton watercolour. I didn't use the Himi gouache for this one. Not too overworked. I actually didn't do too bad on this one. That bit where the main overworked, there was a bit too much water, because you can see it's buckled, and then that bit's ripped, and then this was also a bit too overworked. But yeah. Next up is this one. Another one that hasn't been finished, but was in a lot of my earlier videos where I was painting birds, where I went through a bit of an obsession. Another Sea White Brighton, always good to have. First one I did was a magpie. This was first time using watercolours but also pencils on top to kind of give like a bit of a better effect. I don't know whether this is blurry or you can see. So I did a little magpie, obviously did a bit of a mistake there and ended up painting over it. And obviously didn't really do too much definition on the feet, so it wasn't the best. But I think this was like one of my like first attempts at birds, so not horrific, not too bad. This one obviously once again didn't finish. It was going to be a peacock. Need to actually finish that and do that. Once again was with the cotton watercolour. It seems a bit overworked here. It's a bit thick for watercolour, but hey ho. I'm terrible. I'll use watercolours, but I treat them like gouache and I want them to be as pigmented as that, and like and acrylics, and I'm just like, use acrylics and gouache then if you want them that like thick basically. But anyway, these were two little kois. Once again, I had like an obsession with painting little kois at one point, and then try to do like little obscure like ripples in the water. I should have really done a sheen over the top of the fish, because obviously if they're supposed to be in the water they wouldn't be that pigmented, there'd be a bit of a blue hue to them, or like a discoloured hue because they're in the water. But yeah, just little things that I could add, but that's not actually overworked. And then I did like a splatter effect on top of it, where like I got the brush and I just like literally just flicked loads of paint on top of it. They were some like little sketches with just a biro. Did a little moonscape, once again a little bit too overworked, that's why the water's like obviously settled and it's made like the paint separate. So once again, would have been a bit gentler on that. And did the splatter effect thing again. These once again were going to be planchette scenes, but it was with the acrylics that I had left as well on the cloud areas. I've had to get the dog out because he's just like kicking off. These were leftovers. I remember when I did painting with acrylics, these were like leftover bits of acrylic and I didn't want to waste it on my plate, so I just swatched them on this to fill up. Still need to do stuff to them. Once again, a little bit thick of a layer and a little bit streaky. This just idea came, it was randomly one day to do a little koi fish and then do like a little skeleton effect to it and make the appendages look a bit skeletal, and I thought it was really cool and cute. I did that with the cotton watercolours, I think, or this might have been when I started getting Dale and Rowney Aquafine watercolours, so it might have been the travel pan that I used for these. Then I did like a little neon skeleton version. That was with my not abstract, they were acrylics, but they were the heavy body ones. I can't remember what they're called, Kryler heavy body ones, and that was the two colours I first ever bought, and that's what I used for this. And then I used a Winsor & Newton black on that, I remember, and that was also done, I believe, around like 2023. This was me another attempt at a bird, a little red crested, I don't know whether I wrote on the back, no I didn't. It's a red, I can't remember what these birds are called, red crested something. I'll have to get the name up and I will put it down below in the video somewhere. But yeah, that was this little one, and I thought I actually did really good on this. I didn't overwork the background, I just kept it light. I just did a light watercolour of this, and then I think I used the Dale and Rowney. No, I think I used the Mungyo watercolours. This is when I got my Mungyo watercolour pan, which was a 24 pan, and I used that for that. And I remember being amazed at how like pigmented the red was, because I barely like used any of it, and it was really pigmented. I think I used it on the Sally painting I did as well once, and it was also really pigmented, and I was like, I love this red. But yeah, and I actually did like okay at the feathers. Like I wasn't brilliant at like defining feathers on birds, but I like remember really being impressed when I did this one. I attempted a little pumpkin patch. This was actually a real image I copied. This wasn't an image, sorry. I copied an actual photo I took when we went to the pumpkin patch, I believe last Halloween, and we picked some pumpkins and we had some food and it was very fun, and there was like little stalls and everything. We got like these little stained glass little things that you can hang up at your window. I got a Chinese dragon one and that, and then my sister bought me also a dolphin one. I actually have the dolphin one not hanging up, so I'll show you that one. That's what it looks like. It's like blurred on one side, and you hang them up, and obviously when the light shines through them, I don't know whether you can see that, it like shows quite well. So dolphin, I've got a Chinese dragon like hanging up on my window. I'll quickly show this one because it hasn't got much in. You might recognise this one if you've watched some of my newer videos. It's the My Stationery watercolour journal books that you can get off eBay for really cheap. Well, I say really cheap. This was about £15. Really good paper. This is the hot pressed one, so the paper's much flatter. I've attempting to do flowers in this one, so I did. These are all with watercolours. These are like little watercolour scenes. I used the Mungyo Pastel watercolour palette for this, which I got from the range. It was originally like £16 something, but then it was discounted to £6.50 because they were getting rid of them. But yeah, I did some lavender, some little tulips, some little roses, flowers, and then attempted rose again off the top of my head. Like I did them copying a tutorial, a video on YouTube, which if I find the video that I used, I will link down below as well. I can't remember what her channel was called. And then I tried to do them off the top of my head without watching anything, and then these were the attempts. But this one came out much better, even though it's just loose. And I was like, oh, it'd be so cool. So I might put like a little quote here, or a little greeting thing. I feel like that'd be such a good greeting card. And then did lavender again. I thought they were cute. I did these off the top of my head. That went completely wrong, but you know, we've got to add the mistakes in there because mistakes is how we learn. And did this one off the top of my head as well. Once again, didn't think it was too bad. Bled a bit and I caught a bit something. I can't remember what I caught on it, and ended up making that line. But once again, didn't do too bad. Trying to keep it loose. And then that was in one of my, not my latest video. Oh, wait, actually, yes. I think, no, not my latest video, because my latest video was a haul. The video before my haul video, I'll link this down below as well, as what I did. And that was the lily pads and the little water scene, which I think is really cute as well. But I had a clip then, I forgot, so I haven't added the colour onto that. Oopsie. But yeah, that's very like a short amount. I used the Rosa Gallery watercolours for these. And I used the Mungyo normal palette and the pastel palette for these ones. But then I used Rosa Gallery for this one painting. And I really ended up loving how that painting turned out. These are Laura Talon's Art Creation books. I've got loads of these as well. Loads that I haven't even opened or started. Once again, put stickers on. Sorry I'm so out of breath. I've literally had to run down, sort something out, and then run back up. Did a few little random doodles, some little koi fish again. I don't know what that was going to even be. It turned out horrific. Little Emily, little Sut Sprite. I attempted a little fish, another little koi. They were just little doodles. They were attempts of fish as well. They weren't horrific, but oh well. Using the Faber-Castell watercolours. Did some little mouths using the Faber-Castell Polychromos once again. That was going to be Howl from Howl's Moving Castle, if you can see the sketch, but obviously this is bled onto it, smudged onto it, so I've just left that blank. Did a jellyfish. This was me like Faber-Castell period of time where I was using pencils constantly. Did a little jellyfish. Did some like odd eyes with them. That was just Biro. I didn't use any pencils on that one. Then I drew Shiro from Dead Man's Wonderland, which is an anime, and the manga is also really cool. I'll definitely read the manga before watching the anime, because the anime isn't complete on video or episode wise, and that stops like halfway through the story, not even halfway, like quarter way through the story. But yeah, drew that. That was with the Faber-Castell black. That was going to be Ceres Victoria from Hellsing. Once again, another great anime. I definitely watch the original, then watch Hellsing Ultimate, and then the manga's also brilliant to read. This was like the Huluva Boss characters that I ended up drawing, which is like a little like animated series. I don't know whether you'd say it's for kids. It's animated like it's for kids, but the humour's quite adult. They're on YouTube as well. But these are like just little different characters I saw in odd snippets that came up my TikTok. I was like, they look cute and cool. And then another little attempt at them. That was sketches when I did a painting for my cousin for his birthday of Melanie Martinez, but she like wears this costume thing on one of her tours for Paul's or something it was called. And obviously I don't know too much about her, so I did like random rough sketches because I needed to like figure out before I painted it. I'll show an image in the video somewhere where the painting was complete, and I put rose gold leaf on it and everything and that, and I was really impressed with how it ended up turning out, and he has it on his wall to this day. I'm like, oh, that's lovely. Attempted to draw rats and mice. Once again, didn't go brilliantly, but you know, we've got to start somewhere. I don't know why that one's so happy. These are just random images I found online as well. So whoever's pictures they are, nice to them. But yeah, tried to draw them, didn't go out brilliantly, but you got to try. I don't know why I decided to make him pink. Once again, tried to draw horses, that didn't go well either. Ended up looking more like a really like ill looking My Little Ponies, but like really like fudged up versions of them. So yeah. Love Death Robots. Try to draw a little quick sketch of is it Jabbar? I don't know whether it's pronounced Jibaro or Jibaro, but it's about like a siren, I think. There's a whole, obviously it's like got a deeper meaning in the episode and that, but I'm not gonna be the one to tell you the philosophy of that episode, because it would be a bit too intense for me to even comprehend a sentence to explain the episode. Did little different little bullfinch and like 2 little different types of tits, little birds, little sketches. That was just I don't know what I did there, little crazy doodle. Tried to draw Howl, went really wrong. Face is completely wrong, needs to be a bit thicker and then thinner and more pointed here, and just the hair, the colour, everything. Little Calcifer, he came out okay. But he's just a little fireball, so like how can that not go right? Did some swatches of Faber-Castell pencils and the Lyra aqua brushes. I have got way more now, and I actually have a book that is just full of sketches that have swatches. Drew a random eye. May Rain from Black Butler. I did her in 2024 with the Faber-Castell aqua markers that I've got. Just to see what they were like, give them a little try. Used the Mungyo for this. This is, so as you can see, my art's very inconsistent. Like sometimes like I paint and draw like utter crap, and then like you think I've never drawn or painted in a day in my life, and then I paint things like this and I'm like, oh my god, I actually am okay at art. But then I'll go back to doing something else and I'm like, that's just terrible. But anyway, but then there's people out there that say there's no such thing as terrible art, so who knows. But yeah, anyway, there's a little sketch I did off the poster for the Tim Burton's Batman and Catwoman. Obviously she has a sign in her bedroom that says hello there, so I put that on there as well. And did her. I thought it came out really well. Once again, looks like it's done with gouache. It was a little overworked here, so it buckled a little bit around her face. But yeah, like I really love this painting. I tried to put it on Redbubble, but then it got reported by somebody and got took down, so oh well. I don't know whether it's because I've not copied off a poster. I don't know whether it's because it's got elements of a film, I don't know, but then I've searched on Redbubble and there's other Catwoman stuff, so I don't really get it, but anyway, who knows. I did a little guinea pig day for the there with the Faber-Castell as well. I thought he came out cute. I did a random cockerel with some eggs. I had this thought where I was like, I could do different birds and then the eggs they have, and I was just like, I don't think anybody really needs to see an egg. But yeah, I did an egg. I used the Faber-Castell watercolour pencils for these to do a light background wash, and then I did the polychromos on top of them. A little overworked and bled a little bit here. And obviously, as you can see, I kind of gave up on the feathers halfway, so I was a bit lazy in that department. Did a random little, I don't know whether it's like a little ghost bunny scene. It always reminds me of what shipped down this painting, I don't know why. The little black spirit bunny at the end and the beginning. Did that. This was with just the Cotman watercolours. And then did that. Tried to attempt an owl with inks. Didn't go very well. And then I just wrote my channel's name, I don't know why. And then I attempted a snail. Once again with the Faber-Castell watercolour pencils. And then some, I don't know whether I used Cotman on the top or just used ink on the top. I can't remember, I would have to look into that. Went okay. Definitely needed a little bit more definition on this, and I could have done a bit better on this shell, but overall not too bad, not too bad. Did I do anything? Oh yeah, this always makes me sad. Obviously if you haven't watched it, I can link this video down below as well, but this is a video I did when my little Lara My whippet passed away. And then I put like a little quote: dogs are not our whole lives, but they make our lives whole. And that is a little watercolour painting of her, and that I miss her so much. Like, I don't like to think about it because, oh, it gets me so upset. I just wish dogs could like literally live, not forever, because I wouldn't want them to suffer like life constantly, but just like, I wish they'd lived the same length as us, because, oh, she was an absolute baby. This is one I haven't finished. This was a little scene where we went to see some ducks. I can't remember what reservoir it was, but it was at a reservoir. And I need to finish that. There was a duck there and there that I need to add on to that. So that is not finished. And I was using, I think I used the Mungyo watercolours for these, but I will have to double check. I can't remember. Attempted some jellyfish using Posca markers. I don't know why. And then did a little sea turtle. He has not came out brilliant. Once again, using the watercolour pencils. I need to actually finish paintings. I might have to lift this up slightly. I haven't got the best setup. I'm not a professional by any means. I did a little constellation-y style painting with a little snake on. I used the 52 Jelly Pot gouache pan, the Maya, who did the Hemi gouache. This is like the white massive box ones where they're like, there's like 52 I think colours in. So I did a little snake, some little shooting stars, but did a little manta ray, not manta ray, sorry, stingray, because manta rays have the little mouth grabbies. A little scene from Howl's Moving Castle that I did using the Maya gouache as well. It's a little scene where like you take Sophie to the little like house bit with the fields, and I think it's the first time she actually met Howl, when like you find out in the past or something. Did a little lightning scape. That was another like attempt at clouds, which I thought didn't come out too bad. And then like a little lightning scape. I used the Hemi gouache on that one because that's an old painting, and then I used the turquoise, the 24 pan, and then for this one I actually think I used, I can't remember, I think I used the same gouache, but it looks, I think I used the Winsor & Newton professional gouache for these ones because the quality's a little bit, not in a nasty way, better, and I didn't overwork it as much. I was really happy with how this painting turned out basically. And then I used the Maya watercolours, Mungyo watercolours for this. This is one where I was saying about the bird on the red crested, about the red being really, like, I was like in love with it. This is when I used it on Sally's hair and I was like, that's brilliant. So I did a little watercolour painting of Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, my favourite animation, who I aspire to be. Did that. And then once again, these with the Mungyo as well. Did a little goose. And then did another skeleton fish, but like a massive version, using the Mungyo watercolours. And then I did a little robin with the Mungyo watercolours as well. Could have put a bit more definition on the branch, but hey ho. Still kind of cute, and actually attempted with like making it look like fluffy and with feathers, so that was cute. And didn't actually overwork it for once. Like I say, I'm terrible for overworking with watercolours. Use like Tokyo Ghoul to inspire this one. So like in Tokyo Ghoul, obviously the girl's eyes are like the black with the red retina, and then they're the spider lilies. But like at the beginning of that episode where like he's talking with Reza, like the flowers are white and then they become that when the blood like spills on them. It's weird, but anyway, do that kind of style. Once again, the Mungyo watercolours I used. These were little sketches. I used like for the little background washes I did the Winsor & Newton professional gouache, and then I just did random little koi fish, little eye, little jellyfish, little pumpkin, two little kois, another jellyfish, and then I attempted a starfish but clearly found I cannot draw a star. These are just random little doodles, like a little bit more illustrative that I did. think I was trying out the Stabilo, like a charcoaly type pencil. This was another attempt of a koi fish, and then another one. I'm very stuck in my ways of how I draw. And then I drew Sally Hatcher's Jack, didn't I? Mungio watercolours again with little Zero. I made his eyes a bit too big. Zero's eyes are not that big. And his little ears are a bit thinner and longer. But little Jack skeleton with the Mungio watercolours once again. And then this was another video that I did this year of the Durham Cathedral stained glass window. And it's like a depiction of a saint. And used the Rosa Gallery for these as well, because I was doing a Rosa Gallery review on the watercolours, and that was the painting. That's how the painting turned out. But yeah, and that was all my complete paintings. All the sketchbooks that I've obviously went through in this video. Sorry it's a short little video, I just thought I would do something simple and just show you some artwork that I've done over the years. And I recently just customised it and stuck all the stickers on it. But this is like an A4 one, which I can't wait to delve into and draw on. But yeah, guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you feel like you want to see anything in future videos, just comment down below. And I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye!